Create your characters, paint your miniatures, and let's play a game on this week's
Initial Codes. Bradward, Initial Codes. Bradward, Initial Codes.
Hello again, Trekkies! Today we're talking about the second episode of Lower Decks' third season, The Least Dangerous Game. This dungeon is filled with spoilers if you'd like to rage quit now. One of my criticisms of last week's show was it didn't feel in line with the flavor of opening episodes in the first two seasons. Well, here we are with another mission that should be just another day at the office, but ends up with our favorite animated cast of characters going on some misadventures. This is easily one of my favorite episodes of Lower Decks to date. That love starts from the first moments where I have a like for J.G. Hertzler reprising his role as Martok. Well, sort of. That leads me to a second like right off the bat for him being the driving force in a parody of the 90s Star Trek The Interactive VCR board game, which starred Robert O'Reilly as a Klingon that looks like Gowron, but is in fact Captain Kavok. The episode even nods to this, saying that it isn't even the real Martok, but a Ferengi-generated knockoff. I got to play the game a couple of times with a friend as a teenager, and it was a ton of fun. Though the game depicted in this episode is more of a tabletop RPG where the players roll d20s to determine how the game plays out. The name of the game is Batlets and Banachs, which translates to Swords and Cowards. This intro brings great joy to my nerd heart. Boimler learns that another average crew member has been promoted to captain of another ship, and he didn't know. He feels like he deserves better after all his hard work, and Tendi makes him realize that the difference between him and Captain Vendam is that Vendam said yes to everything. Cue the plot from the movie Yes Man, where Brad says yes to any new opportunity and gains some senior staff respect. This leads him to saying yes to being hunted by a monstrous-looking alien named Cranch. Something about Cool Ranch Doritos. He seems to be a conglomeration of the Hirogen Klingons and a race only known as the Hunters, as Boimler is now his Tosk. Bradward gets chased through the ship, giving us another look at our friends in Cetacean Ops. And as he's hiding at one point, he knocks over the game they were playing in the beginning, and has a conversation with the image of Martok that gives him +2 to Charisma for the next 3 turns. After strapping on a phaser rifle, he proceeds to give a Pike-style red shirt speech to attempt another +2 to Charisma, and in true Boimler fashion rolls a nat 1, and gets a spear through the shoulder. Just as he thinks Cranch is coming in for the kill, turns out the big guy just wants to take a selfie with wounded prey. It's so hilarious that it gets a dislike from me, because selfies are stupid, and otherwise I have no dislikes for this episode. The other main plot here involves Mariner lamenting Ransom's close oversight of her, and the two of them going on a mission to fix a magnetic lift for the Delanians. This race is a nod to the Edo from Justice. They wear skimpy clothes, and just like the Edos jogging everywhere, these people value wellness above all else. Ransom, trying to make Mariner suffer a bit, decides that the two of them should do the repairs while the engineering officers go do the command level stuff talking to the natives. It goes badly on all fronts. And after an initial warm reception, Billups angers them by not showing his belly button, and then getting prepared for sacrifice to their sentient volcano god because his is an outie. I'm going to give a like for how many random dumb races from across Trek are mashed up into this. Besides the Edo, there's hints of the Vol-worshipping tribe from the Apple, the species Balok was associated with, and the Landru-worshipping Batons. Mariner decides to take matters into her own hands and go down and rescue the gold shirts. So she jumps halfway down to the planet in a thermal suit before being hailed by Ransom, and she decides to climb back up. Literally up a climbing wall. And stairs and stuff. When she gets back to the top, she gets to jump with Jack all over again. Ransom rolls a nat 20 in diplomacy and saves the life of the engineers with the sheer dominance of his chest. In the end, Ransom wasn't a very good commander, and even though Mariner did her job, he's still a dick to her. We close the same way we opened with our 4 main lower deckers playing Swords and Cowards. And there's a joke about needing to buy the expansion to continue playing the game. Which reminds me, I still need to get the Dominion and Breen Confederation for Star Trek Ascendancy. which is an amazing modern Trek board game. See you back here next week. I've been your host, Dustin Wing.